Hello and welcome to Fading Suns on Tuesday. I am JM, your GM. This is my crew for the Annals of Antioch, and we are on episode 7. When we last left off, our heroes had made it to the city of Antioch, discovered new allies, and delved beneath the city in an attempt to get into the Paladendrex's cathedral palace, following the vision that Father Bell had of Second Republic technology beneath the city. But before we get into that, Mark, tonight is the last night of the Fading Suns Kickstarter. Give us an update. We got like a half hour left?
28 minutes to go. 995 backers have pledged $177,000, which unlocks all of the stretch goals that they have put up thus far. There's lots of good stuff. You should check it out. You got 28 minutes if you want to get in on that goodness.
All right. We'll see where it ends here in 28 minutes. But when we left off, you guys had entered into this sort of refugee camp under the city where people who have escaped the Paladendrex's sort of draconian rule in Antioch were being hidden underneath the city. And as you were moving towards where your ally was taking you, Grayson, to get into the Paladendrex's cathedral palace, the young girl that Perpetua met on the river came rushing out of a group of tents near the edge of the encampment, yelling to hurry, and, yelling out words of warning as she was being chased by a husk. And for those of you who don't know, husks is this phenomenon that happens mainly in the Imperium, as far as you know, where the dead don't stay dead. There are a variety of reasons for what may cause a husk. But as you know, Father Bell and Runner, Dorian was exposed to biological agents that caused a husk outbreak on Ravenna about a month ago.
And also Dorian's missing.
And also Dorian is missing, as is Brother Gabriel. So we're going to start here. The Husks have initiative edge, so they will be going first. And you can see that a half dozen of them come running out of this encampment on the edge of the area that you were in. Remember, there seemed to be some sort of fight going on, some sort of argument, and the young woman broke free. And that is where we're going to start. So the Husks spend...
Can Gabriel interrupt and go first?
Somewhere in Antioch, Gabriel interrupts and goes first. But unfortunately, that is not a combat nor a story for now. Two of them run down the young woman from the river and hit her from behind, sort of burying her to the ground. The other four kind of leap past, and they are... Yes?
Do I no longer have initiative edge?
Did I say you had initiative edge at the end of last time?
No, but that's one of my
Any kind of things?
perks.
What does your perk say?
Oh, it's either the perk or it's the fact that I'm Vorox. Gives me initiative edge.
Take a look.
You're gonna have to pull it up. Continue, sir, but I will get back to you on that.
All right, you can get back to me on that. So, the other four come leaping ahead, two of them coming for Perpetua, and one of them going for Runner, and one of them going for Rothgar. So, Perpetua, these two come leaping at you. One of them hits. What is your body resistance?
2.
All right. So it hits. Would you like to spend any VP to increase your body resistance?
Yeah, can I surge?
You may surge. I cannot say no. because that is the way the rules are written.
Fair enough.
And only because that's how the rules are
I'll
written.
increase my resistance by 4.
Okay. I will spend another 4 to match that, draining my very limited purse of VPs for these people. I'm not happy with you. And so therefore they will do, so it kind of lands and it takes, you can see it brings its hand across your upper arm. And what you can see is that the fingers are bloody and you feel as if it's not nails that are hitting you, but the bones of the fingers kind of score your arm for 3 points of damage.
Bummer.
Rothgar. The one on you misses. Runner. The one on you crits.
No, I don't think he does.
I don't think you have a choice on that one. So I'm just going to do my crit damage and up the damage. So it lands in front of you and it just brings both of its hands in a raking move straight up the front of your body for 5 points of damage.
Ow.
Those are my husks. They are going to acknowledge possibly Runner's initiative edge and choose her to go next.
Okay.
So there were 4 husks.
There are a total of 6. 2 of them are on the young woman from the...
Okay.
Yep, on Anna.
Okay. I am going to bring up the Harpy Screamer and shoot with that. I remember all my numbers. 17. Ugh. That was a natural 20. I have all my 13th age dice out.
Dun, dun,
Plenty of my
dun.
rolls.
You get your dark eye dice out.
My dark eye dice are at the studio.
Another great game brought to you by Ulysses Spiel. All right, so as you kind of you bring this, you're firing the screamer, yes?
Yep.
All right, give me another D20 roll to see what happens when you.
19.
Oh, Becca.
Okay, you have 5 other limbs.
Who else is going, or who's going next? I will ask you.
I will have Rothgar go next.
All right, Rothgar, you are up next.
Okay. Can I get to the ones that are on Anna and strike them?
You can.
Okay. I'll ignore the one that missed me and advance. I will put 4 points into my melee to raise it to 18, and I will swing with my axe. 15.
Okay.
These look like normal people, so I will guess that they're not wearing like armor, like they're just refugees.
They're wearing leathers.
That's like, yes, Becca.
Figured it out. It's my blessing. I'm bold. It gives me initiative edge.
Okay, so when 2 people have initiative edge, there is a roll off. So we'll do that at the start of the next round. Your screecher, by the way, you fire and it goes. There's a battery short. It'll take a primary action to eject the battery and slap it back in to kind of reset the gun.
Sorry to interrupt, Mark.
All right, Mark.
No, it's okay. So I will spend 4 to overcome resistance because I don't know what it is right now.
All right, it's normally 2, but I'm going to spend a total of 6 to bring it to 8. So you
Do I have to spend 6
you
more?
have to spend 4 more.
Okay, I'll spend 4 more.
All right.
And then I will spend 6 more to increase the damage to an even 10.
Increasing the damage to an even 10. All right, Mark. You sever this one's arm, and you can see it just starts bleeding out onto the ground, onto its companion, on to Anna. But it is not quite dead.
Okay.
Who's going next? Oh,
Perpetua. Because there's no enemies, right? They've all gone?
yes.
Okay. Perpetua.
Yeah, I will shoot the one that hit me with the Sumter Ulick.
All right.
This is Dex and shoot.
This would be Dex and shoot.
Well, I do not succeed, but I also do not critically fail.
That is always a good option. All right. That leaves Father Bell.
Okay. So surveying the battlefield here, there's the one that Rothgar just disarmed. Then there's the other one attacking Anna. And that one, does it look, I mean, the two of them pushed her to the ground. Does it look like it's turning to Rothgar or reacting to him, or is it
they are both
pursuing?
definitely reacting to Rothgar.
Okay.
That's the title of my
And then
novel.
there's one that's sort of at loose ends that Rothgar ran past.
Yes.
And 2 on Runner and 1 on Perpetua.
1 on Runner and 2 on Perpetua.
2 on Perpetua. Well, that doesn't seem very sporting. So I am going to cast Prophet's Censure on one of the ones attacking Perpetua to censure its attack.
Okay.
So let's see how I do with that. And then I'll explain. I rolled a 4, so that's enough. So my so I use a victory point. I make my roll, and then the resistance is the target's spirit resistance.
Oh, good. So they don't have any.
I don't have any. Okay. Well, in which case,
You still need to spend the 1 to activate it.
right. Done. So what this means is that for this particular husk, everything it does to try and attack Perpetua is unfavorable until it succeeds.
And that was the one that attacked her already. That successfully attacked her. Okay.
That's right.
All right. So you don the right of the
Stop
prophet's
doing
censure.
bad things.
What are the requirements for that? Is it liturgical or
That's a
prayer?
good question. It is liturgical and a gesture. I speak the first 2 lines of the prophet's admonishment of unbelievers, and I make the sign of the barred jump gate.
All right. So if you would just please recite those and make that gesture. All right. Perpetua, you see.
They don't provide that.
You have to make them up.
But
Maybe they do. We just don't have the full rules yet. Perpetua, you see the one that kind of that attacked you kind of staggers a little bit and seems, if you didn't know better, to be drunk or dizzy. And again, you were the one closest to them, so you can see kind of the black staining around their eyes that kind of veins out. Their saliva has also turned black, and it's staining their lips. They seem to be producing far too much of it.
Gross.
All right, it is the top of the round. So, runner, we'll do our roll off, and basically whoever succeeds goes first, and then they get to choose whoever they want to go next. So it doesn't automatically go to the other person with edge. All right, high roll wins.
What way?
What?
Succeeds with what?
It's high roll wins.
Okay. So,
So pick the die that's in timeout.
18.
19. Woo! Husks go first. All right, so two of them are attacking Perpetua, and I'm rolling one of them is unfavorable. The unfavorable one misses. Thanks for that, Father Bell. Your prayers have come in handy.
Thank goodness.
But the other one, picking up the slack, definitely strikes you, Perpetua, and he's going to spend 4 to overcome your resistance.
So I would have to spend 3 additional.
Well,
I have two.
You have 2. So if
Yes.
if you spend 3 additional, that would take your resistance to 5. So I'd only
Yes.
have to spend 1 to up it. Got to remember where my camera is.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna drain their victory points. So
All right.
yeah, sure.
He will spend the 1 to up it and just do and he will hit you for 3 points of damage.
Great.
Runner, the one on you misses. Rothgar.
They're very intimidated by you, Runner.
They are. A lot of people are intimidated by Runner. Rothgar, the 2 that were on Anna are now focused entirely on you. One of them succeeds. The other one is the one that you hit. And remember how I said you nearly sever that guy's arm? It catches on something on the ground, like it's dragging, and its fingers kind of catch on a grating, and it rips its arm free with a natural 20.
Gross.
Runner, Rothgar, I'm gonna spend 4 to overcome your resistance.
That doesn't overcome my resistance.
Oh, your resistance is like 8, isn't it? God bless it. All right, I'm gonna spend 9 to overcome your resistance.
Well, I get to raise it then,
You
right?
do.
I mean, that's just straight up. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna spend 6 to raise it.
I see your 6, and I will up my damage by 2 points and do 5 points of damage to you. So, Rothgar, as you're dodging back and forth, trying to get your shield in place, it sort of grabs your shield with one hand. As it pulls it out of place, it rips its claws across your throat for 5 points of damage. The last one, looking around, not seeing Rothgar there anymore, notices the lean and tender form of Father Bell and hits with an 8. Father Bell, what's your body resistance?
2.
Well, I'm going to spend 2 to overcome your body resistance.
I would like to spend 3 to increase my body resistance to 5.
I will match that. And Father Bell, they sort of cut through your robes and score 3 bloody lines down your upper right arm, sort of just parallel lines down your arm.
Ow.
I will choose. What was that?
How much vitality do I take?
3 vitality.
3.
Yes.
3 lines, 3 vitality.
That's right. One vitality per line. Runner,
Got it.
you're next.
My turn?
Yes.
Great. I'm going to shove the screamer away, and with a different hand, because I'm ambidextrous, I'm going to pull out Darian's blaster and shoot that one at the... So this one goes away, this one comes up, this one pulls out another one. It's
Guns on
rotating
guns on
juggle.
guns on guns.
Yes, pretty much. All right, so I need a 7. I need a 16 to hit, 17 to hit. 7. Okay. Have we determined their body resistance, Rothgar?
2.
2.
You?
Yes.
All right, I can spend those. I can spend those 2. Are you going to increase it at all?
No.
Okay.
He's running out of VP.
Then I'm going to use aim where it hurts and add 3 damage to that for a total of 10.
That's the one that was on you, correct?
Yes.
All right, Runner, you put a sizable hole through the abdomen of the husk in front of you, and you can just see bits dropping from the top into the bottom, running down its leg. It kind of staggers back, but it looks at you, doesn't howl in pain, doesn't give you any reaction except more of this black saliva starts pouring out of its mouth. Who's going next?
Gross.
Gross is
I'm
not-
going to say Father Bell, in case he needs to don any more rites.
And I am going to don a right. I'm going to cast Celestial Alignment so that we can have a reroll die on hand. Would have been handy to have that at the beginning. Upping my VP. And I critical.
Nice.
I needed a 19 because I added 5 VP and I rolled a 19.
Woohoo!
Lots of VPs.
So, yes, I have a ton of VP. Who needs some victory points?
Because you're
I'll take them.
inspiring.
I think we could all use some.
Because I am inspiring, and I can hand them out to 2 people at once because I'm second level.
That's right. And so all priest class characters start with the inspiring perk, which, as you just may have deduced, priest class characters are inspiring. They can hand their victory points out to others in the party.
I have, after spending on the resistance and everything and recharging myself, I have 11 to give out. And I will give 5 to Runner and 5 to Perpetua.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hold on to 1 for when this thing hits me again.
All right, Father Bell. So you don this right. You sort of step back. Did you pay the extra VP for it being this? All right, awesome. So basically, each right that you don costs 1 plus the number of rights that you currently have donned. So they get more expensive the more rights you put into play. So you kind of step back from the one that's attacking you. You don. What do you shout? How do you inspire Runner and Perpetua? Is it your holy screams of
Ah! Save me! No.
Social distance.
I shout something from Lamentations. But for those who carry the lamp in their hearts and bear it unto the kings of men, no matter the lashes they receive from the blind, they alone shall be free.
Father Bell? Take a weird point.
And don't forget 1 from your critical, you get a weird point.
That's true. Who's going
I'm
next?
super
Father
weird.
Bell?
Who's going next?
Who's going next? I think that Rothgar needs to go next and save Anna, I hope.
Okay. Yep, I will engage the one that is uninjured. The other one seems to have taken itself out of the fight when it ripped its arm off.
It's not out of the fight, but you're definitely not as worried.
Okay. I will try to attack and maneuver the other one away from Anna. I will add 4 to my attack.
All right.
And I crit with an 18.
Ooh.
So now I don't have to do anything for resistance because it just you ignore that, right?
It
With a
ignores
crit.
it. Yep.
And I'll convert all of that to 9 more points of damage and do a total of 16 points of damage as I strike it with my axe.
All right. What does it look like, Rothgar?
And fighting maneuvering, kind of give him a shove with my buckler and then just take his head off, and hopefully he topples away from Anna.
He does. This thing kind of hits the ground, and the head sort of rolls around and ends up staring right at you. Who's going next?
I could care less. Who hasn't gone?
Perpetua and Runner. Oh, no, Runner went already. Just Perpetua.
Yeah, all right, Perpetua. Well,
Sounding like you have a choice.
Yeah, Perpetua.
All right, I'm going to try to shoot again. Oh, that's not good. That's a critical fail.
Hey, why don't you re-roll that?
Oh, thank you. That was also a fail, but not a critical fail.
It's like having
How bad of a fail was it?
2.
I think I've already done my primary and secondary, unfortunately.
all
Shoot.
right.
Ugh.
All right, so Perpetua.
It's too late for me to add VP, yeah?
Yeah, you have to add that beforehand.
Yeah.
So you bring your gun up and fire, but it kind of gets its hand on the top of your wrist and sort of pushes the shot away. Top of the round, Becca.
4.
5.
All right, not using that dice. Okay.
All right. You know what? I think I'm gonna choose my husks to go again.
I mean,
wait. Before
what?
this happens, you hear "Run, girl, run to me!" And Grayson is kind of beckoning Anna, who, at this point, kind of slips a little bit on the gore that Rothgar has sort of spread around the area, but manages to get traction and go running towards your guide, and sort of materializing next to him is the person who said he was Anna's brother, Perpetua, and you can kind of see as he kind of grabs her and pulls her away from what's going on and starts checking her. But then there's too much battle going on for you to really keep track of where they're at. I hit you with a 1, but I'm not going to spend any VP to overcome your resistance because it's really just sort of not worth it. All right, here's the guy who rolls unfavorably. A critical hit
And a failure.
and a miss. Curse you, Prophet Censure.
Thank you, Father Bell.
Mark, the one on you is going for your throat. It's got one arm, no hope, and leaps for your throat with its teeth. It hits with a 7, and I will spend 8 to overcome your resistance.
I will increase my resistance by 7.
All right, you manage to get your shield in place, and you can see it break some of its teeth as it comes in, and you just kind of catch its mouth on the rim, sending teeth and this black spittle sort of everywhere. All right, that's Perpetua. All right. So Runner, the one in front of you, also is going for a bite, and hits you with a 10. So it's going to spend 4 to overcome your resistance.
My resistance is 6 now.
It's going to
I
spend
picked up the perk Stoic
6
Body.
to overcome your resistance.
Okay, I will spend 5 more to increase my resistance to 11.
I spend 5 more. Draining PCs. All right, so it's going to hit you for 3 points of damage, kind of catching you on your throat and pulling away a chunk of fur and skin. Father Bell, the one in front of you, it's done messing around. No, it's not. It takes a swing at you, and whether it is the inherent grace granted to you by the Pan Creator or some latent spasm caused by whatever is causing this husk to rise, you manage to get out of the way. You are up, Father Bell.
I am.
You are.
All right. I noticed that it's a moment before I take my turn that we might make an observation here, given the time. Mark?
Yes, Mark, would you like to let us know what the Kickstarter is ended at?
Let me make sure it's refreshed with the latest. 1,000 backers and 162,500 euros. So everything got backed, and we had 1,000 even. Father Bell called it.
Well, Father Bell called it, so I'm going to give everyone a weird point because Father Bell called it like on the nose.
Woo!
So, for those of you who have been watching the crew of the Oh Boy for, I think, a year now, almost a year now. And for those of you who have been staying with us with the Annals of Antioch, those who have been following the design diaries, whether you were an old fan of Fading Suns or a new fan of Fading Suns, thank you for tuning in. We're not done, but just thank you for supporting the Kickstarter. I'm really looking forward to seeing this book come to life. The art that we've seen so far is incredible. We obviously really like the rule system. So congratulations to Ulysses on a really successful and a really well done Kickstarter. So I look forward to seeing the products. We'll probably do an unboxing video when we get them. Hopefully we'll be back in the studio for that. But until then, Father Bell, you are surrounded by one husk who just seems to be in your face. It feels like you're surrounded. What are you doing?
Right. I am going to Father Bell. am going to activate in order to try and see if there are dark forces that are motivating these husks. And I'm going to spend a weird point to make it favorable.
Okay.
And I succeed. In fact, I critical. So I need an 11. I rolled an 11.
As you do.
And what this does is I can see any traces of dark corruption in a target's soul. So I'm looking at the husk attacking me. So, for example, I see a psychic's urge as a dark fetal form growing in the brain. I can reveal the presence of demonic influences, allowing me to see their dark forms hovering. For example, near an antinomist or someone who is possessed, I can see the type, target, and caster of any theurgic rite within visual range. I can't read auras because it's operating on a different range of the astral spectrum. And a note for you, GM. The GM should use creativity in describing what you see with this rate, as individual auras are not being read. Rather, the second sight confers the ability to see all the broad occult forces at work in a given scene.
All right, Father Bell. As you don this rite, it succeeds far better than you ever would have imagined. And what you can see is that the husk in front of you, there are a myriad of little claws sunk into the soulscape of this creature. You don't actually see a soul. You see these claws sunk into the flesh where you would normally expect to see the soul's mirror burning bright. In fact, all of these husks have these little claws hooked into them. And as you watch, you can see, as you kind of focus on the claws, you can see as your vision sort of broadens and you see more of the astral spectrum with your second sight, you can see that all of these claws are attached to the same creature. And you can't really see it in its wholeness. You get the feeling that this is your brain interpreting something that is so vast that only the darkness between the stars is large enough to call it home. But what you can see, at least closest to you, is the myriad of ravens' feet that dig deep into the flesh of all of these husks. And actually, as you were watching, taking it all in, because you got a critical success, you do see a single talon dug into the flesh of Anna. And as you watch that one talon kind of shudders and spreads into two, and the two dig a little deeper. Who's going
Cleanse her with
next?
fire.
Okay.
Who's going next, Father Bell?
Let's see. Who's left?
You
Everybody
went
wait.
first, so the other
I went
three-
first. That's crazy.
I knew I
Runner.
would throw the whole initiative order off if I went with Father Bell first.
Okay. Cool. I'll go first. I'm going to shoot this thing in front of me again.
All right, give me the roll.
Debating if I want to make this favorable because it's been that night.
Because the dice are against us currently.
Says the side that has rolled a bunch of critical successes.
Also many critical failures.
Everyone's rolled something critical. Some of us have rolled failures.
I mean, that's technically true.
All right. I got a 14, which is successful.
All right, how much are you spending?
Will I have to spend 4 to overcome the resistance?
2.
2. Okay, so 2 to overcome its resistance.
You hit.
I believe. Okay, and then I'll spend 1 more to aim where it hurts and do a total of 10 damage again.
What does it look like, Runner?
Through the head this time. I didn't care that I shot it in the stomach, so I lifted my hand up and between the eyes.
All right. As the husk drops, the sound of the combat, there's sort of a lull in it, and you begin to hear the sounds of, blind panic behind you as multiple shots have gone off, as Rothgar has decapitated and delimbed people who are far enough away that they can't really tell what's going on with the husks, but they can definitely tell that violence has broken out, and a giant furry demon has stepped into the midst of their sanctuary. And so there's this loud roar and clamor as most of the people begin to move away from you, but you can see several of the braver ones, or maybe the more desperate ones, picking up pikes and spears and slug guns, and you're guessing that they're going to be here next round.
Then. Okay, so my husk is done. Are both of the husks that were on Anna down?
No, one of them is down. One of them is missing an arm. There are 2 on Perpetua, and there's 1 on Father Bell.
Okay. I will move over to Perpetua.
Okay.
And try to get between one of those husks and her.
Okay.
And in the process, I'm going to be shot at anyway. I'll keep my gun out then.
All right, who's
So
going
I
next?
move over to get between Perpetua and one of the husks.
Okay, who's going next, runner?
Perpetua.
I'm going to try one more time to shoot them.
Hey,
Put some
first of
points in
all,
it.
add VP,
I was just gonna say add VP first.
and I can give you one of my weird points and roll favorably.
I have weird points. I'm gonna roll favorably.
Okay, I have 4 to share.
And I'm going to spend, I think, 3 VP
Okay, so what does that bring your total to?
of my VP.
Or
what?
What's your goal roll with at plus 3?
14.
Okay.
In a stunning turn of events, I've rolled the same number on both die, but they both succeed. So
Excellent. So how many VP did you
Huzzah.
generate?
13.
Oh, so close to a critical.
I know. I'm really bad.
All right, so how many are you spending to overcome their resistance? Minimum 2.
2.
All right, they are not upping it.
Yeah. And so then can I spend to do additional damage?
Yes, every 2 additionally does 1 more point of damage.
Okay. So I will spend 4 to do 2 additional damage.
All right, and what's the
my
total?
8.
8. All right. And what gun are you using? Your your slug gun?
Sumter Ulick.
Your what?
Sumter
Big-
Ulick.
All right.
Big revolver.
Yep. You bring the revolver up. Chamber spins around. Bullet lines up, and you put one right in the chest of this thing, which sort of stumbles back. Mouth opens wide. No words or sounds come out of it. Rothgar, you are last. What are you going to do?
I will attack the one that's on me,
Okay.
the one-armed freakazoid. I'll spend 4 to bring it to 18. Roll a 12, so I hit. I'll spend 2 to overcome.
All right.
It's pretty beat up, so I think my base 7 points will do it.
That'll do it. All right. You drop the other
Okay.
one, bringing your axe down. It hits the
Yep.
ground. You rip it
And then
free.
I will move to help defend Father Bell.
All right, you can see there's about 5 people moving towards you from the camp. Most of the women and children and men have kind of moved away, but these 5, 2 women, 3 men. One of them has.
And as I move towards Father Bell, I will yell at Grayson, "Call off your dogs."
He goes last, so I will let you know what he says. All right, so you move up to Father Bell. He kind of looks back and he's like, "You ignorant Voldrak, those are not my people." But he turns around and starts speaking Kurgan and getting them to kind of put their hands down. All right, runner, you ready for this?
No, I'm not.
I got an 11.
Okay.
What'd you get on your initiative?
Initiative that you got to roll off.
Oh, initiative.
Did you get a 10? All right, turning to see Rothgar attacking. They are going to hit. Dang, it was almost a critical too. All right, Rothgar, I'm going to spend 10 to overcome your resistance.
So I need to spend 3 to negate their attack, right?
2 to negate their attack. But
But then you can.
yeah, I get to
Spend
respond. So you get to set your final.
Gotcha.
One. I'm
I will
just
spend-
upping the bounty for you.
That's okay. I'm going to increase it by 5, which makes my total resistance 13.
All right, I will spend the other 3 and meet it and spend 2 points for 1 additional point of damage for 4. So the one that was on Father Bell grabs him and kind of pulls him against you, and do you have your weapon out, Father Bell?
No.
No? All right, he just drives Father Bell's head into your mouth.
Ow.
Father Bell, it feels like you got bit right here on the forehead. And then he sort of lets Father Bell drop. Perpetua, there is one on you who rolls twice and picks the lowest of the two until he succeeds.
He spits out a tooth.
A 1 and a 5. I will take
We'll
the
have to pick
one
the lowest one.
with 1 VP, and the one he has in his bank, he hits you. Would you like to spend any
But I have VP again, so I'm going to raise it again by 2.
Well, then he misses. He hits you but does no damage. Runner, the one that you have stepped in front of, you said your base resistance is 4?
6.
Is 6. I'll spend 6 to overcome your resistance.
I'll spend 4 more to make it 10.
All right. That drops me to 0 VP, but I will hit you for 3.
All right.
Perpetua, you are up first.
Woo! What is that going to do for us? I will again raise my target to 14
Okay.
and rolling. I crit.
Woo!
All right, Perpetua. You hit the one in front of you. Dead on. What's the base damage of your weapon?
6.
6.
All right, that's enough to take him out. What do you want to spend the rest of your VP on?
What do you mean?
Is there anything you want to do with it? Like, so what is it? Well, one, what does it look like? You drop this husk in front of you.
Yeah, I shoot it again in the chest.
Okay. Dealing enough damage to its core mass that it finally just kind of collapses. You clip the spine and you see like all of its strings get cut.
Gross. And then there's still one attacking Father Bell.
There's one attacking
Rock
Father Bell and one attacking Runner.
Oh. Oh yeah. I will go to help Runner with this other husk.
Okay. Who's going next?
Father Bell?
It's the first time we've ever seen Father Bell ask to go next, so I'm excited to see what happens.
I turn to the husk that's just used me as a battering ram against Rothgar. And I say,
out of your forehead.
ow. Banish the shadows, free your creatures to live fully within creation, and I invoke Counter the Dark.
Okay.
Drawing upon your extensive esoteric studies, you know how to intervene when dark influences affect others, and you can abolish occult influences. As a primary action, you can speak authoritative words to mitigate a state from which your target is suffering, caused by occult means. And for 1 turn per victory point you spend, the state has no effect on them. So I'm hoping that whatever nasty darkness is controlling this husk will drop for the next 5 rounds as I spend 5 victory points to counter it.
All right.
What happens?
Do you have to roll for this, or is this just a perk?
No, it just happens.
All right. So you spent 5 victory points.
Yep.
You sever this thing's connection with the raven spirit, and it hits the ground and begins to writhe and scream as if it is being tortured.
Excellent.
I almost feel kind of bad.
Well, who's going next? As you watch this thing, I mean, it twists in ways that a body was not meant to twist. Snapping and twisting, convulsing at your feet. But it does not seem to be attacking you.
Rothgar?
The quietest declaration of who goes next.
There's one active one on runner.
There is one active one on runner.
That's it, right?
That's it.
I will move over and attempt to take it from behind, sever its connection.
Go for it.
Oh, spend 4 points, get me up to 18. These roll well. 8, so I'll hit it. Spend 2 to overcome.
You do?
Has this one been wounded before?
It has not been.
I will spend 8 points to raise my impact to 11.
All right. Rothgar, you bring your axe down across the creature's back. It staggers forward into Runner, but is still standing. Runner, you get hit by this thing as it just slams into you, both with the weight of its own body and the force that drove it there, which was, Rothgar's axe. It is your turn.
Mighty blow.
In reflex, I'm going to shoot it.
Go for it.
5. Woo! Woo! All right, 2 for body resistance.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not increasing it at all?
I can't. I drained all of my VP pool to shove Father Bell's forehead into Rothgar's mouth. Worth it.
Yeah, I believe it. All right. And I'm just going to shoot the 7 damage.
All right. That will end it. And the last of the husks drops to the ground. The one at the feet of Father Bell is still screaming, but you can see that it has broken itself against the floor to the point where it's not getting back up.
I put it out of its misery.
All right. You can hear Grayson speaking in a language none of you understand, but he seems to be convincing those people who are coming towards you to put down their weapons, calm down, that you guys have it under control, you're with him. It's kind of the feeling that you're getting from the gestures. There's a couple of rude ones thrown in Rothgar's direction that don't need literal interpretation, but there's some chuckles from the people and everything. All right. What was that? What are those?
Clean my axe off on the clothes of the most complete husk that has some sort of clothes. I can get that nasty black blood off of my axe.
What were these things?
They're called husks.
I've not.
Or at least that's what we call them in the inner worlds.
They seem to be. He kind of nudges one with his boot, and you can see that they're already starting to decompose.
Mm-hmm.
Were they already
Not
dead?
surprising, really.
Just about. There's different theories on how they're made. Some people think it's science, some people think it's faith. But essentially the person inside is no longer there, and it's just a monster.
There is a darkness beyond the stars that we're controlling these. I fear the hand, the claw of St. Beatrice's foe.
Who?
It is a demon named Ashkagiel.
Everything you just said meant basically nothing to Grayson.
Yeah.
Is the girl
We can
okay?
explain more later.
What was that, Mark?
Is the girl okay? I look around
Yeah.
for her.
Where are Anna and her brother?
Anna and her brother are sort of standing about 5 meters away, watching, surveying the whole thing. Her brother is kind of trying to restrain her, and she's no, Hiram. I know who she is. I saw her in my visions. And Anna comes up to you.
Good, because I was going to approach them.
Thank you. Twice now. I am Anna. And this is my brother Hiram. You do not belong here.
No, we are from the Lone Lands.
The where?
We're not from here.
I know what
As I said this morning, my name's Perpetua. This is Father Bell, and that's Rothgar and Runner.
Hiram kind of comes and stands like next to his sister. Thank you again for what you have done for my sister.
Of course. Can she tell me some more about her visions?
Yeah. I saw you. I saw you. And them.
Me.
You. Yes.
Okay.
You are the one to make the choice. Don't let anyone else try.
Which choice?
I don't know.
The choice. All right.
I get fragments. I get visions. But you are the one who has to make the choice. And your choice, no matter what you choose, is heralded by fire. Sometimes it's a fire that consumes. Sometimes it's a fire that frees. And I'm supposed to tell you. She told me to tell you. The only way up is down.
Visions. Okay.
You'll have to excuse my sister. She's been gifted with sight since she was a young girl.
And how did you arrive here?
We came by boat. My sister.
I know you came by boat. What happened since this morning?
I found my sister after we left you. She's the one who knew where we had to go. She saw symbols and signs in the strangest places, in signs and beggars and the way the light hit different crystals. I thought she was crazy, but she said these were the paths, the markers on the path to take us to you. I've often been skeptical of my sister's gift, but when we got here, she said she had to warn you, and that people wouldn't listen unless they were shown. And so she went and provoked, well, this.
Ah.
He kind of looks at his sister. She can be quite abrasive when she chooses to be.
Sure. So where did you find the husks?
They were lying here in wait for you. There was another man here. He was the one standing at the edge of the tent. He is the one that I got past. And when they saw me, they followed me out of his tent.
Can we see the man she's talking about?
No.
Okay.
Your guess is he was the one who was arguing with her when you guys first sort of noticed the kerfuffle.
Oh, okay.
Can we tell that she's been injured?
Yeah, she took injuries when the husks knocked her to the ground, but she's also coated in their blood because of the delimbing.
Yeah. Grayson, is there somewhere around here that we can wash ourselves I don't think it's good to. I know that it's not good to be exposed to husk excrescence.
I can take you to one of the reclaimer stations, but we still have to hurry. Our window to get into the cathedral palace is tight.
We have to hurry. Exposure to this stuff is just really not good.
He takes a step back. Excellent. You go first. We're going to
Yep.
head down that way,
I-
and third door on the left.
Yeah, we'll need to go over there and clean up, and then I need to use my med pack and do a remedy again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
We all need to hose down.
Do Anna and Hiram come with us?
You should.
Do you ask
You need to
them
get
to?
cleaned off too.
Yeah, I will say, yeah, come with us. You need to get cleaned off, and I too see things, and have given visions. I'm very sorry, Anna, but I believe that the darkness that caused the husks is trying to take root through your injury.
Hiram's eyes kind of go wide, and Anna just looks up at you and gives you just this beatific smile. And she's like, only if you fail, Father Bell. Only if you fail. Come on, Hiram. It's okay.
Just add one more on.
So we all go and get cleaned up. I want to fix the screamer.
Yeah, the reclamation station is really just like a small concrete room that they have tapped into what seems to be the water supply and put large spouts on the outside of it, and there's 7 drains on the floor, and so it's really just sort of like a deluge shower where you just.
It's okay.
Perfect.
I've showered in weirder places.
Perpetua or Lily?
Oh,
Yes.
That was my question.
Then afterwards, I want to fix the screamer, and then after Anna gets clean, as weird as this sounds, can I get her scent? Because I know I picked it up off of the blankets, but I'm just curious if it actually smells like human.
Give me a
It smells like wet leaves.
perception plus. Give me a perception plus observe roll.
And since I'm using my nose, it's +2. That's a 14. Just spend a weird point and make this favorable. And some VP to bump it up to 17. All right. I want to know. 12.
woo!
Okay, so memorizing the scent is going to take you 6. And as you kind of very creepily, casually take her scent in, it smells like Teen Spirit.
It smells like Team Spirit.
Yeah. Thanks, Lily.
How about you?
No, you memorize her scent.
Okay.
Rothgar, you want to give me your remedy roll?
Yes.
This
If
is
I
for
clean
you,
up.
yes?
Use. I'm going to convert a weird point to 3 victory points so I can raise it. Because it's wits and remedy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That gives me a 14 favorable roll. I'll take the 9.
All right, and it's 4 to overcome the resistance of the task. So then you get 2 back. Or are you trying to trigger a revival, basically?
Well, I have the med pack medic, which gives me a recovery +1 if I succeed.
Okay, so go ahead and spend your
And
recovery.
then do the extras in, since I can't bank them, they have to go into extras or?
So they're when you make a remedy roll, it's temporary VP.
Okay.
You gonna remedy anybody else?
Yes, I will.
That'd be lovely because I'm half down.
Ooh.
Yes.
So I can't use those temporaries on this roll.
No, when you make a remedy roll, it basically it's VP. The VP converts on 2 to 1 for extra vitality, and that's all that it does.
Okay.
I can give you a weird point if you want to roll favorably.
Well, the med pack gives me a favorable roll. I don't have everything in it yet.
Are you keeping? Is there charges on the med pack?
Yeah, I'm used 4 now,
Okay.
and I can use 10 altogether, so I'm down.
Do you want a weird point for the VP?
Yeah. Oh, well, I still have a couple.
Or I could inspire you if that would be helpful.
That would help. If you inspire me, I can put it in my vault and use a couple for all the remedies I got to make.
Yeah. Let me give you 9. O Pan Creator, lift the veil from Rothgar's eyes and let him see the light.
I saw the light. I saw the light. No.
You still have your make the roll 2 less. I'll need that because I rolled a 15, 16, and I need a 14.
Bing.
So yeah, you get
I spend a victory point and reduce it
plus
to
1 vitality. So whatever your recovery number plus 1.
Nice. I'm only down 2 now.
Yeah, I'm down 1. Perpetua.
Yeah, I'm down 6.
Thanks, Rothgar.
9, I succeed. So Lily, you get your recovery plus 1, whatever that is. Is it the same for everybody? I forget the formula for recovery.
No,
Are we all at the same?
It's based off of level and, I believe it's the low. It's based off level and then
Something else. I know.
something else.
Father Bell.
I'm down 3.
You want to get healed
Or
save it?
Maybe we should save it.
Okay. Oh, good. I've got 5 left in my bank.
I'll be fine.
I'm done 1. Yes, you will. You're going to save the world, Father Bell.
JM, does
No
that
pressure.
count as using a revival?
Mark, does that trigger the revival?
No, you get your recovery, whatever the limit is, plus 1.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay.
Your revival.
All right.
I upgraded, paid more. That's about all I bought was the med pack.
All right,
Okay.
you guys managed to get clean. Rothgar takes about 40 minutes to kind of get everyone patched up.
Okay.
Grayson kind of is growing more and more impatient. All right, are we taking them with us? Are they staying here? I need to know.
Anna?
Wish to come with us? Or do you have somewhere safe to go?
I can stay here with my brother. I don't know that I would
Well,
be
you-
of any aid to you.
And then may the lady look after you and protect you.
You as well, Father Bell. You as well. Hiram kind of gives
Thank you.
both looks like, cool, I'm surrounded by crazy people. And he sort of takes his sister away. All right. Is the plan still to go to the cathedral.
More than ever.
Right? I can get you to there. I can get you in. As I said, once we're there, finding your way is up to you. I assume that you have been given some sort of strange vision of where to go.
Yes, that's fair to say. We might have to phone a friend on the way, but we'll work it out.
He gives you a very strange look. All right. I have bartered these, and he kind of holds out a series of, like, a stack of cloaks. This should disguise most of you, or at least break up your shapes.
Thank you.
Let's go. And he darts back into the main tunnel and takes off at a near sprint.
I keep up with him.
That is fair. All right. Father Bell, is there anything you wanted to do along the way before we get to the Cathedral Palace?
I did want to think about my vision of what was controlling the husks and what I know about whether or not. I mean, it all seems to connect to Gaella and Ashkagiel, but I hadn't thought about the explicit link to the symbol of the raven and Ashkagiel, and if there's something that if I can contemplate and think about whether or not that's existent, or anything else that vision might tell me, I'd like to
Go for it.
do that. So is this like an academia plus?
I'm going to make it an academia plus faith roll.
Ooh, all right. That's what I like to hear. That is cocked. Well, I rolled a 1. I got some victory points that I can additionally spend. How many do you think? Is this a blind or?
This is a blind bid. The more you spend...
well, then I'm gonna spend 4 because that's what I got.
I can give you a weird point, which you can break into 3 more victory points.
I'm dumb. I have many weird points, and I will break another one and spend 6.
Okay.
Total.
All right. So, Father Bell, as you kind of are meditating on this and kind of moving through this, you definitely remember several images from you remember several images from maybe not the Omega Gospels, but definitely from the iconography and the imagery sort of post right around the fall of the Second Republic. The imagery of heretics being burned alive in sort of stone coffins. That is a kind of a common artistic interpretation. You can't really remember where it came from, but it is definitely a theme and a motif that you have seen. And so as you kind of meditate on like these different pieces that are coming together in your mind, it's almost as if someone, in your mind, probably Ashkagiel, right, is sort of flouting that tradition, and someone here has made that the symbol of the religion on this world. This sort of broken, or this stone coffin, if you will. And you also know that ravens are often harbingers of night, of things on the edge, on the periphery, birds that blend in with the darkness between the stars. So in your mind, as you kind of meditate on it, those are probably the two images you're really going to want to be looking for as you head into this time and this epicenter of everything that is going on the planet of Antioch.
Okie dokie.
All right, eventually you see a change in the tunnels. They kind of go from these underground, sort of abandoned, as I said, you didn't really know what they were used for. They were almost too large to be used for like water, and didn't really have kind of the structure or the staining of a tunnel that had been used for water. But they start to move into more. There's more signs of industry. Other pipes that are running parallel to this, large pipes that kind of extend, emerge out of the wall and then run parallel before, diving back in or diving straight into the ground or back up into the ceiling. There are more lights here. The torches that lit kind of the camps, you can now see there's this soft golden glow that sort of emanates from the metal itself. It's not jarring, it's not too bright, your eyes adjust very quickly. And soon you come to a large door. And this door has a raven engraved upon it. It looks large enough that if you had the flitter, you probably could have flown. Right, you could have flown the flitter down the tunnel like we said last week, but you could probably you would be able to fly 2 flitters at the same time through these large doors. And Grayson says, "All right, here we are. I wish you luck. I will be waiting here for you. Here is," and he tosses a small onyx cylinder with a single button on top to you, Rothgar. When you are on the other side of that door and you are ready to come out, signal me.
Thank you, Grayson.
How are we getting in?
You say how you're going to get in?
Yeah.
Oh, that is still part of my job. And he walks to a box on the side, and you see he inserts a key, an old fashioned smart metal key from the Second Republic, and it just sort of melds into the side of the box. And he turns it, and the box kind of pops open, and he punches a code into the box, and the doors start to silently open, and they open about 4 feet wide and stop. On the other side, there is sterile white light coming from a river that sort of runs across the top of the hall that this door opens into. You can see that this area slants down over about 100 meters from the tall, wide room of the door to a more human-sized area at the far side, about 100 meters away. There's nothing else in this room. In fact, the smell of dust and neglect kind of waft out of the door. But you can see several doors on the far side. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna hold out 2 hands for him to shake.
I go through.
The blessings
To the
of the
doorway.
Blades of Kells go with you.
The light preserve you.
And as soon as the last of you goes through, the doors silently close, and at least on this side, you can't see the seam where they're going to open again.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Rothgar,
Don't lose that little box.
Perpetua, Belle, and me.
Is that your marching order?
Sound good?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, I got that down. All right.
At the risk of recalling bad memories from last time, would someone like a blessing? Maybe not Perpetua. Didn't work out.
Last time it wasn't great, but you know,
It wasn't great.
you can keep trying.
Yeah. Maybe before I start handing out blessings, we should think about what you came through this raven door. I'll say we're looking to get down beneath here, and the raven and the coffin are two symbols that may lead us in that direction. You know, otherwise, I mean, we'll have to look for signs, and to find our way. And I don't think any of us have been in any place quite like this.
Rothgar, have you been to the palace before?
No, especially not under it.
Well, no, I didn't assume that you'd been under it, but
I
what
mean,
about
metaphorically, we've all been under it, but that's just, that's.
Runner? What do your senses tell you?
Smells old. Smells empty. I think, well, usually, anywhere that there's people of power, they're going to have people who serve them. So if we don't see any signs like coffins or ravens, maybe we can find someone who will help lead us, because we're also looking for Gabriel and Dorian.
Right.
So, I mean, I'll keep a nose out, but
I think we're better off avoiding people, not trying to ask for directions.
I wasn't going to ask nicely.
Well, no, but just the more people we encounter,
face off.
to raise an alarm.
Excuse me, do you have a moment to talk about the Paladendrax and perhaps where we might find him?
Right?
You said at the far end there's multiple doors?
There are. There's sort of two human-sized doors on the left and the right, and a large set of double doors in the middle. Not large enough for a flitter to get through, but still much larger than about twice the size of runner's height.
Should we try the left door first?
Yes.
So before we proceed any further, I'm going to just do a small blessing that doesn't have any chance of screwing up, and I'll spend a victory point, and runner, you have a +1 that you can add to a goal number, and that will last. That can apply to any single roll of your choice within the next 10 turns. So
Okay.
while we're going along, if anything comes up, then you may be able to increase your goal without spending any of your own victory points.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks. So JM, are you going to take 10 turns to be the next minute, or?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Each turn.
1 second.
No, I'm going to say that that's going to basically give you a minute. Oh, nope. That's even. It's 1 to 3 seconds. So the next half minute, you'll have the bonus. We'll say to your next roll, just so that it's not a waste for Father Bell.
Okay. I was then going to use it and
never mind then. Why did I look over?
in a perception, in an attempt to look for, actually written signs, like if there's anything that says, hallway A, hallway B, or if there is signs of human or not quite as human traffic on either of these doors, so we know which one is used more.
All right, give me a perception plus observe roll.
Okay. And since I'm not using my nose, use my eyes. I don't get to add my nose to this, but I get Father Bell. It takes me to 13. And I'll add 3 more for 16. I rolled a 19. Should have used my weird point. I thought about it.
I'm just going to look at the left door because that's where we were going to go, and I'm just going to kind of use my observe. This is considered subterranean?
This is considered. No, it's not like caves and such. No, this is just underground.
And that's subterranean?
No, this is a.
Below
I realize
ground?
it is a building underground, but it is not an underground environment.
A good try.
I like it though, Mark. I like it.
So I get favorable rolls in certain areas.
Yeah.
That was excellent rules lawyering.
Can I hire a lawyer?
There is the Reeves Guild.
If I only knew a lawyer.
I'm only licensed to practice canon law in this environment.
All right. What the heck is that roll? You do some math here. 11. I'll spend. I got a 16. You still don't have that adjust the roll 2 points? Or is that used?
I can do that. What'd you roll?
17 out of 16.
Well, I think you rolled a 15 instead.
There you go. And I'll spend. They come in twos, right? 2, 4, 6. Because it's a blind bid.
They do go in twos.
I'll spend 6 points as I'm looking at this door, looking for a way to open it, looking to see if it's alarmed. Anything that would be a Danger Will Robinson type situation.
And then what was your how much did you spend? I apologize, Mark.
6 to overcome.
6 to overcome. All right. So with 6 to overcome, you can see that the doors are not locked. There is no. I mean, you can. There just seems to be sort of a push bar on this side. You can see that these doors are all marked.
With an exit sign?
They are not marked with an exit sign, but they are marked with letters that you are familiar with, but not in a combination that you understand, but Father Bell, they are in Latin. These all say Thesarum, which basically means like storehouse, storeroom, something like that. But they do have panes that you can, as you get close, part of the door sort of goes translucent, and you can see that there is a hall on the other side, and there's not a lot of people. As you kind of stand there, you notice that they don't seem to notice you, but you see maybe 2 people pass over the course of this entire time. They are all wearing long brown robes. They all have the flaming coffin on their over their heart, and they are all carrying, what seem to be like rosaries or long prayer chains around their necks.
And that's the left door.
That's the left door. But just from the way that they're walking, your guess is that all 3 of these doors exit into the same hall.
Okay, I will convey that to everyone here. I don't know how big the window is, but there's people on the other side, robes and.
And you still don't want to grab one and ask for directions?
You said I saw 2 people?
Yes.
I saw 2 people.
They're not walking together. It's like one person walked past, and the other person kind of hits the left door, and you know that you can jump. You could in theory jump out at the 2 double doors, or at the one at the far end if you hurried, or a runner and casually strolled across this room.
The people that you saw, were they going both in the same direction?
No, the first one passed the left door, and the other one about a minute later started walking.
Okay.
If you were Voldrak, you'd absolutely understood what I just did, but.
Sure.
But I'm not, so.
You go on.
Or we put you guys in brown robes and you explore yourself, but.
No, we can grab a guy. One guy over there. I point to the door. If you want to jump out and get him.
You want to jump out and get him. I don't know that the appearance of a demon in the palace is going to be.
Well, just an arm reaches out, pulls him into this room.
Fair enough.
All right, Voldrox, give me or Runner, as you are also known, give me a strength plus fight roll as you leap out and grab this unsuspecting cleric.
Strength plus 5. All right, well, I am going to throw a weird point at this. And some VP. 16. And I got a 7 and a 6. Well.
I take the 7.
Together, that's 13.
7. Thank you, though.
All right, so it's only going to take you 4 to grab this, jump out, grab this guy, and jump back in before anyone, including this guy, notices. All right.
Multiple arms grab. Hold.
Yeah, about a minute later, you see Runner dart out, and before the door can even start to close, kind of darts back in, has 3 arms wrapped around this cleric, and is pulling the door closed with the 4th. This guy is struggling, but you can see that he has definitely spent most of his time studying the words of the Paladendrax and not, doing anything physical. So his struggles are weak and ineffectual against Runner. It's actually kind of sad. So Runner, you have captured this poor sap.
Okay, I will hold him with 3 arms, 1 arm against over his mouth, and I'll look at the rest of them, and I'll start to drag him kind of off to the corner.
Okay.
We're not in front of the doors. And I'll say, so, who's going to ask the question, you or me?
Father Bell?
Just trying to think.
Prisoners.
I just stand in front of him and run my thumb down the blade of my axe.
Right.
I know.
Yeah. Hello, friend. we're in need of some directions and understanding of the layout of your fine cathedral palace under chambers. Please don't cry out in alarm. It won't do any good. And really, we'd like to bring you back to the light of the Pancreator, but primarily we just need you to answer our questions.
So
Explain with the most detail from my friend Perpetua here the responses.
all right, so
I'm going to ask really fast that we stop using names.
Okay.
Please.
as you rumble that out, you remember that one time that Runner caught that rabbit and how it like just kind of violently shook in her hands until she let it go, and then it hopped once and fell over and died from a heart attack? That's what this guy is doing. He's just sort of
We're getting the
violently
same feeling
trembling.
right now.
Yeah, against your body. But Father Bell, give me a presence plus. I would say normally it would be impress, or normally it would be charm, but in this case it's definitely impress because
Okay.
there is no way that you are going to charm this guy as Runner is wrapping him up in a very lupine, multi-limbed embrace.
Great.
I did roll to see if what he has remained master of his own facilities,
Functions?
faculties. Yes.
Ah,
So
great.
He's not incontinent.
he is not
Okay.
incontinent yet.
All right. I'm
Look at
going
he's wearing
to
brown robes.
spend a couple of VP to bump up my chance, and I'm going to spend a weird point to make it favorable. And that's good. I rolled a 10 out of 13. Could have been a 2 out of 13, but I don't want that.
How many do you want to spend on this, Evan?
6.
All right. So you get a number of things as soon as Runner sort of removes.
Ready to slap it if he starts screaming.
Oh yeah, no. Probate Avonis is more than willing to tell you everything. It seems that he is normally a chatty Calvin in real life, and now that he is scared, you can't get him to shut up. So, essentially, he gives you... I mean, he doesn't have the passcodes. I'm sorry, I don't have the passcodes. I'm just a lowly probate. However, if you go out this hall and you take it to the right, and you go down, and 2 lefts, and then a right, and then a left, and then a set of stairs, you can get down the stairs, but then it goes to a locked elevator, and I can't get you past that. Please don't kill me. He actually threads the please don't kill me where most people would put commas or, punctuation. But yes, the sight of you in religious garb he doesn't recognize, Hrothgar the barbarian, Perpetua who is just stern and intimidating on her own, and the looming furry presence of Runner behind him, you find this probate is very, very willing to talk. He's only been here a couple of weeks. He's basically just a probate. He hasn't been taken down for his second-degree initiation. But you know what? At this point, he's only lost a couple of weeks out of his life. If you guys want him to leave, that's fine. He'll find his way out. He won't tell anyone you're here. It's totally okay. I have a bunch of cakes that my mom sent with me. It's in my room. If you guys want, you guys can have all of the cakes. They're pretty good. They're only slightly stale. I don't have any money, but... Wait, who are you?
You
Not
said
relevant.
right to left, a right and a left.
Yeah.
Perpetua.
Yeah. No, I got that one. That was Perpetua.
back
Is
up.
she in charge? She seems to be in charge. What is holding me?
Also not relevant.
Our friend.
You could see his feet kind of like on his tiptoes, kind of are finding purchase.
I give Runner a meaningful look.
Does he have a rope belt?
He does have a rope belt.
Good, I can tie him up.
Yeah.
All right. Sadly, there is no use rope skill. Looking right at you, 3rd edition D&D. But you are able to...
Or Dark Eye.
Or Dark
They
Eye.
got rope use.
Yep. Dark Eye has a skill for everything.
It does.
It really does. You managed to tie up Avones kind of in the corner. You hands and feet bound together. You guys aren't going to leave me here for very long, right? I'm just saying.
We'll be back. We'll let you go. You'll be fine.
Midday
Good night.
meals. Only about a
Assuming
half
we
hour.
survive.
Yeah.
And if we don't,
Also not relevant.
but
I was going to cut some of his rope, the bottom part, so I could gag him.
Oh, you.
Don't struggle, it makes it worse.
You're going to be fine.
Breathe through your nose calmly, and it'll be fine.
my last word of advice is repent your heresy.
What?
The Pan Creator will receive you back.
Who? You haven't had a lot of time to explain how his entire city and faith is built on a golden bowl of lies.
Yes.
So you've left this guy scared and confused and gagged and bound in a storeroom.
You'll have a much harder time telling a coherent story if he's found.
You really will.
And I will lean down kind of close to him and say, I expect you to still be here when we get back.
He kind of
Don't go anywhere.
holds up his hands and looks at his feet and shrugs.
I'm going to lightly pat him on the head.
All right. So what's the plan?
The cloaks that Grayson gave us, are they brown like his? So they're different colors.
I wonder if it would be worth taking this poor person's robe and putting Father Bell in it and having it look like he's escorting us somewhere.
It's either that or attempting to sneak through.
I mean, at least with one person in disguise, we can send them into areas that we're not familiar with so they can scout a little bit.
Truth.
And he does have a way with words.
Such a way with words.
And on that note,
So many words.
once more, I just want to remind you, we don't want to tell people who we are yet.
There are no names.
Please stop using names.
There are always names.
I understand you guys have not done this type of job before. The whole searching and tracking and finding people job. We don't want to leave a trail.
Kind of more revealing to the light kind of jobs, but okay.
I know.
Father Bell, are you going to be able to wear one of these robes?
Sure.
Okay, great. So, unfortunately, we leave him naked, bound, and gagged.
He's not naked. He's got
Small clothes.
small clothes.
Great.
He hasn't grown
But he's
into
not
it yet, but
That's so nice.
you can see that it says Avones kind of right on the back of his small clothes. All right.
TMI.
So, Father Bell, you are the one who is kind of heading out into this.
Yep.
Is the goal just to follow the map that this probate gave to you, or
I'm interested in what's in the storeroom.
There's
Is
nothing.
it just the hallway?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna follow it. Keep our eye out for anything else that pops into our vision or that we notice. Because I know I'm keeping an eye out for Gabriel and Dorian.
Yes.
Dorian hired me. I don't get paid until he makes it back to the known worlds.
It's fair. That is fair.
You know,
And you have his scent, right?
yeah.
Well,
But I can't track him through here.
No, but like if he's in a room that you walk by, you might catch his scent. You know,
Maybe.
hey, he's in there.
just
I would hope
just
so.
to answer the chat's deep burning questions. Rope lore is not in the new edition, but I would allow a capability to apply here. And Avones is definitely a boxer's man. So, listen, we love the people who watch our chats, and so I will answer questions as they come up. All right, so Father Bell, you make your way through, and it definitely feels like this place. If you hadn't just snatched a poor person out of the hallway and subjected them to psychological horrors, you would assume this place is abandoned. The lights here are sort of on a low power. You spend a good 10 minutes following Avones' directions, and you don't encounter a single other soul. However, his directions do lead you right to the elevator. And that's where we're going to pause for today. And we will come back on Thursday with more Annals of Antioch. Episode 8 will be on Thursday. I don't know how many more episodes we have until you guys make it off-world. I'm very excited about this. And we have a special guest once we get off-world. As soon as I have more information on that, I will be sharing it. But seeing as we're a little bit early, what I wanted to do is just... Becca, this is your third or fourth character in Fading Suns. Mark, this is your second. Evan and Lily, this is the first time you've ever played Fading Suns. With the fact that the Kickstarter is over and we're going to be seeing products start coming in, hopefully in a month or two, in the form of PDFs. What have your thoughts been on the system? What have you liked about it? What has stood out as like this is something really cool about the way Fading Suns works?
Who has initiative?
We'll give it to Perpetua.
So I like the way that you are assumed to have kind of a basic level of skills, but you can add that depending on what you think is going to be the most useful. And I like the victory point option to modify.
Okay. Father Bell, what about you?
Yeah. I like the victory point system too. I think it's a very clever mechanic that allows you to sort of be strategic and to really target something that you really want to do and increase your opportunity to succeed. Although you can't escape those nasty 20s that pop up, but that tells a different story. But I think it gives you a lot of sort of intention that helps change the curve of things rather than just the flat roll succeed or roll fail. The deep background of a game, particularly one that's been around this long and that it's really put a lot of thought into the universe and providing a lot of different opportunities to tell different stories. I mean, that's really attractive, and I wouldn't have thought, from having started out as a fan watching the Oh Boy crew and some of the other side things, to have pegged a character like Father Bell into the universe, but when we put this together, he just sort of flowed naturally out of the background into being, and it's been great.
Awesome. All right, well, let's go from least experience to most experience. So, Rothgar, what have your thoughts been on as you've been playing more Fading Suns? What do you like about it?
Yeah, I started similar to Evan, watching the exploits of the old boy, and it intrigued me. The system, with the victory points, the skill plus ability, add your victory points, generate victory points. Some systems kind of call it a momentum system, where you generate these extra points that you can spend as an economy in the game is really unique, and I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And got more interested in it, and making a short guest appearance with that crew. Hopefully we get back to it soon.
Mm-hmm.
In this game, to the point where I backed it, and I can't wait to get all my PDFs hopefully soon. And I think September we're projected to get the physical copies if everything starts working again and people can start making those things. That'll be very nice. I'm interested to see more into the world. I mean, we just had a glimpse with the stuff you were allowed to share for this, dare we say, beta test, that we played with some of the rules, and they seem really neat. Kind of look forward to seeing everything and all the other species and races and starships, and there's a lot of stuff that if you watch the Twitch that Bill talks about, the developer diaries, there's a lot of stuff out there that I'm interested in learning about. And I think the setting is so unique. Kind of reminds me when I was a kid watching Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon, the old serials that had men in space, but you also had swords, and it wasn't just the Star Trek or Star Wars high tech.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knew how to use it. This is very unique and different.
Becca?
Well, since I've played this game for some amount of time and I've had 3 characters, well, technically 4.
Right, because you played in the one-shot.
Yes. I guess I can't say that there's nothing about this game I like, because clearly I do like it. Yeah, there's a lot that I like. I like when you build a character, even if you build a character that is the same as someone else at the table, there are still nuances about your character that make it something different.
Right, like when you were all playing Battle Order.
We were all Battle Order, but we still had the tank, the healer, the flamethrower, and the crazy one?
I feel like that's
I don't really know how to describe.
That's an accurate description.
Estia. Or Philosophia.
That's right.
And yeah, and so that's really cool that all the characters are so nuanced. And I mean, I think this is a testament to you, JM, as well as to the Fading Suns universe, is just very engaging. You can be from any walk of life: noble, merchant, priest, free, and they all work. As a noble character, you don't really get to put yourself above anyone else at the table, because everybody has the skills that they bring to it, and everybody has the specialities, and that makes it pretty cool that you don't really have just one type that you always want to be. Yeah, I like this game. The worlds are interesting, the species are interesting. I'm interested to see some of the other aliens. Yeah, for sure. I've enjoyed the Voroks. quite a bit.
It's lasted a lot longer than our last Vorox.
Well, I learned from the last Vorox,
Totally.
and I know better than to fight somebody who's infected.
And don't take this the wrong way, guys, because I'm loving running Annals of Antioch. But I do hope that someday soon we get to go back to the crew of the Oh Boy, because we just got back to the Oh Boy before the quarantine hit. I think we got one session in.
Right. Before the husk outbreak.
Yeah, two sessions in. Yeah.
There have been several times where I've been sitting here with Runner, and I'm going, "Oh, if I was playing Jexa right now, I'd have so much more answers."
Yes.
Well, this is the last Tuesday, though, that we're going to be playing Fading Suns. We'll be back on Thursday on the Ulysses International channel playing Fading Suns, and Annals of Antioch will continue. The new arc name will be whenever they get off of Antioch. We will come up with a new arc name. But on Tuesday of next week, we are going to be building characters for our brand new Torg adventure. And Lily and Mark, you will be joining us. And Maddie from the Oh Boy, she plays Sister Gemma. She will be joining us. And then I think we're going to try and get Ross Watson of Myth and Torg and Wrath and Glory. He's expressed interest, so I think we're going to get him in on the game as well. But next week, on Tuesday, we're not even going to talk. We're going to talk about the campaign. We're going to talk about the adventure. We're going to make characters. I'm going to do my best to have live slides of each step so that you at home can kind of follow along as we are doing this. But we're going to make our Torg characters, and we're going to play through an adventure, and hopefully soon we will know when everything is going back to the studio. But until then, thank you so much for tuning in on this. Guys, thank you so much for playing Annals of Antioch. I'm glad that we got this chance just to hang out and continue running games, continue playing some Fading Suns, and we will be back for Torg on Tuesday. So we'll be here Thursday with more Fading Suns. I'm JM, your GM. This is my crew. We'll see you in a bit.